Look, music is the best thing in the world. Sounds have the ability to make you feel. Some music makes you smile, becoming overcome with happiness. Some makes you pumped up, ready to take on the world. And some makes you feel all goose pimply and suddenly you're submerged in feels. Video games have some of the best music I've ever heard, and I thought I'd give some bad props to 5 of my favourite video game music tracks that give you feels. In no particular order, here's number 5. Balance Valley, Dark Chronicle. Played in Balance Valley, obviously, Chapter 3's village is comprised of 4 islands, all differing in height and size. As you place the structures and trees on each of the 4 islands, they become imbalanced, which gives the player a puzzle to solve, finding perfect balance, perfect harmony. There are 3 melodies being played here, each on a different instrument. Each melody is a little more intricate than the last, ending with the piano. When the clarinet returns, it sounds a lot more lonely, having to follow up the more full piano melody. The emotion you feel from this track isn't sadness, it's loneliness. This probably has something to do with how restrained the backing music is. These gorgeous melodies need expertly crafted backing, otherwise the track becomes too flat, and Balance Valley's arpeggiated acoustic guitar and synthesized violins are perfect. Everything is perfect. Everything is in its rightful place. Everything has balance. Number 4. Dearly Beloved, Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 were phenomenal JRPGs filled with the magic of Disney. The charm, beauty and wonderment didn't end with Disney's influence though. Square Enix made sure their mark was thoroughly made, both in a visual and audible sense. Dearly Beloved is probably one of the best main menu themes ever, but it's the sequel's version that tugs at your heartstrings more. The same melody is there, except now it's been stripped completely and there's no more note bouncing. This makes the melody much more lonely, and each note hits home that indescribable feeling you get each time you hear it. Just like Balance Valley, the backing music is perfect and allows the melody, although empty, to strut its stuff and make the track feel full. As the track stretches on, more and more instruments join in and it becomes a more hopeful sounding orchestration. Violins, cellos, clarinets and a couple more all have their say and it's wonderfully composed. Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 were fantastic, and I personally cannot wait to hear Kingdom Hearts 3's rendition of Dearly Beloved. Magical. Number 3. Old Snake Theme, Metal Gear Solid 4. Metal Gear Solid 4 saw the end of Solid Snake's adventure with a very beautiful, very lonely scene of Snake stood in a graveyard, similar to Big Boss's famous scene. This theme is heartbreaking. It has the typical Metal Gear Solid sound at the beginning with the electronic ghostly sounds, but then something unfamiliar arrives, a classical guitar. One single classical guitar playing a sorrowful, lonely melody accompanied by the very familiar Metal Gear bass drones. It's amazing juxtaposition and it's fascinating how well it works, not only musically, but also in how it essentially creates Old Snake through music. A lonely old guitar playing a sad, almost empty melody, but still having the power and that purpose that the backing music provides. Around 110 seconds in, the track dives into, again, a very typical Metal Gear track. Orchestrated, tense, and very big. To me, this represents Solid Snake's life. Very rarely did he do anything other than stealth operations. He never got a rest. Even when his accelerated aging kicked in, he was doing dirty work. A tired old soldier, but that's all he ever was. That's all he was made for. Number 2. Painful History, Katawa Shuja. Katawa Shuja was a bloody brilliant visual novel. Wonderful story arcs with wonderful characters, wonderful graphics with wonderful art, and wonderful music with wonderful sounds. Painful History is the theme of Yamaku School's very own Hanako, the flame-scarred, shy, socially awkward girl with a depressing as fuck story. This track does not pull any punches. It opens with a solitary piano playing a painfully sorrowful melody, but there's some beauty to it too, hidden underneath. At 35 seconds in, BAM! Violins and a cello burst into the mix with a huge, heart-wrenching punch. The first time I played Katawa Shuja and this track played, when the violins kicked in, I jumped a bit. It's that powerful. But the track doesn't pick up from there, in fact quite the opposite. It drops both in tempo and octave with a ghastly, mournful melody. There are several instruments used here and everything feels in its rightful place. It's a fantastic track, and although it's not my absolute favourite from the game, it's certainly the saddest, besides perhaps Moment of Decision. But I chose Painful History because of how it recreates Hanako through music. Brilliant. Number 1. The Last of Us, The Last of Us. The Last of Us, oh my god, was fucking fantastic. It gets endless praise for its visuals, and rightly so, but its soundtrack was also brilliant. The main theme, by the same name, is absolutely perfect for the tone of the game. The instruments sounded rusted, slightly out of tune, and very mournful, like the characters that inhabit this broken, post-apocalyptic world. The track really does feel worn. It feels like it's being played by survivors who found broken instruments and decided to give them a go. The main melody is played on something called a charango, which gives the melody a South American vibe, and it's wonderful. I would say the best way to describe this track, and the soundtrack in general, would be to say it's minimalist, lonely, but it still packs a punch. It's a track of, at first, loneliness and hopelessness, but as the track progresses, the melody brightens, more instruments and percussive elements are dragged in, and you feel almost a little pumped up. But then the main melody returns, and you push back down into the real feel of the track. Hopeless desolation. Well, there you go. Apologies if I've depressed you beyond belief, but these tracks need some more love. Music this good needs to be heard and appreciated. Maybe one day I'll do more top 5 lists. There's definitely enough brilliant music to fill the lists. Thanks for watching.